Today's video is replacing the number one fuel injector on the 3.6 V6 on this Dodge Charger. Got an engine code that was causing a misfire, which is a P0201, and also an 0301. So we're gonna go ahead and replace the fuel injector. And first thing we gotta do is take out the fuel pump fuse and run this dry so there's no pressure in the fuel rail. And for the fuel pump fuse, we lift this panel up, and here's our fuse box. If we look at the fuse box, the number 21 is our fuel pump, a 30 amp, and it's just right there. Now you go ahead and start the car and then let the engine die. And there you go, you've let off the fuel pressure. Now we're going to take out this intake tube, 8mm. We're going to go ahead and start with this left side. There's two 10mm nuts that hold the back side of the manifold on. So now we're going to take off this end of the manifold. There's 7 bolts that hold it in. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7 back here. So let's go ahead and take those out. They're 8mm. And then there's these two 10mm, one right here next to the throttle body that gets bolted onto this bracket, and then there's one behind this hose right here, which you can see just right there. And to remove the manifold, you're going to take off this bracket that's not letting the studs come out, which is back here, right there where my 13mm socket is. You gotta take off that wiring harness off of it first, and then you can go ahead and unbolt that bracket. Now with the manifold out of the way, we can go ahead and get to our fuel rail right here, which uses Torx, and we can get to our number one injector. Now since you got open ports into the valve area, you're going to want to put a rag or something, a clean rag, over so nothing gets in. And to take out the fuel injector plug, what you do is on this orange part right here, you just pry it up. And once you pry it up, and there you go. So now there's two T30s that we're going to take off. So here's our new one. I'm going to put a little bit of a silicone paste on it so it's easy to slide into the hole, and then the rail is going to be easy to slide onto the O-rings. I'm actually going to do them on top of both the 3 and 5 cylinder, just so the whole rail slides on easy. I couldn't find a torque for the fuel rail, so we're just going to go ahead and snug them up. Now we can go ahead and put the connector back on. Now we can go ahead, put on the upper intake manifold. If you want to, you can go ahead and replace the upper intake manifold gaskets. So I'm going to go ahead and install the 7 screws, and then I'm going to torque them down. And right here on the manifold, it says 7 to 9 Newton meters. I'm going to do 8 Newton meters since it's right in the middle. And 8 Newton meters is roughly 71 inch-pounds. So I got my torque wrench. Now we go ahead and put the fuse back in. So let's go ahead and start it up. So far no check engine light. Let's go check for leaks. So it used to idle around 500, so now it's up to like 750, and it's not shaking anymore. So I think we're good to go. And that's how you replace a fuel injector onto these chargers. Hopefully this video helps y'all. You have a good one.